Alright guys, just got dropped off at Uncle Johnny's hostel, which is right by the trail. So crossing the Nolichucky River again, and yeah, getting back on the trail. Okay, so heading out of Erwin, the next stop is probably going to be a hostel in a couple days in Roan, Tennessee, or Roan Mountain, Tennessee. I can't remember if it's Roan or Roan Mountain, but whatever. So the next town stop is Damascus, Virginia, and there's a big festival every year called Trail Days that happens, and that's going to be next weekend. So I think I have 125 miles to go until then, so I have to make a decision on, first of all, if I want to go to Trail Days, which I kind of do, at least for one day, at least. Then the other decision is, do I want to hike into Trail Days, or am I even capable of hiking into Trail Days, since it's 125 miles, or I can do something like get a shuttle into Trail Days, which seems kind of weird, I don't know. So we'll see how I do today. I was talking to the shuttle driver. He's suggested 6 20-mile days, and then you'll be at Low Gap 5 miles away, so that just seems a little bit out of my range right now, but we'll see how today goes. Yeah, so happy Mother's Day to my mom and any other mothers. I talked to my mom and dad earlier, and it sounds like everybody is enjoying these videos, so that's cool. They're definitely a little bit of work to edit, not so hard to film, but that's why there's such a delay. And also kind of a pain to upload out here, obviously, but yeah, anyway, I think today is really the first day where I'm walking on kind of like a rainy trail, with mud and everything all day, so see how that goes. The good thing is the sun's not out, so I don't have to really worry about a sunburn. So yeah, Erwin was really cool. I had heard, honestly, reviews about it saying the locals were kind of not friendly to hikers, but all I had was positive experiences, so in fact it was probably one of my favorite towns so far. That might have been because I was sick in Hot Springs, but whatever. Yeah, so last night I was able to have some beers at a tap room, some local beers, with some local music, which was cool. So yeah, definitely stop in Erwin if you're passing through. The shuttle drivers were like, it was $7 for the trail, or from the trail back to town. They were super quick to pick me up and bring me back, so nothing but good reviews. Yeah, so one other thing I'll say about, people giving good or bad reviews about something, and that is the comments on the Gut Hooks app, which is the app that's kind of like the guidebook that everybody uses. People leave like a lot of negative comments. I find that it's like Yelp, like people only kind of review it if it's negative. So, and generally I feel like all the places I've gone that I've had a negative review, I've had a very good experience at, so I would say take the Gut Hook comments with a grain of salt. So I forgot to mention, there was a few things I sent home with Katie, my girlfriend, in Hot Springs. So I sent home the hot lips, which were just like a little rubber thing that goes over my cook pot so you can sip out of it while it's hot. I don't think I used it once. Not that it weighs a lot, but might as well just get rid of it. I sent home my watercolor kit, which I don't even think I showed in the videos, but I think that thing must have weighed almost a pound, 3/4 of a pound maybe. So got rid of that, didn't use that once. I honestly don't even really know how to do watercolor, so figured probably not the time to learn out here, really. I did keep my Kindle, figured out how to use that, so I'm actually able to read now, which is cool. And then also sent home my sleeping pad since I don't need that anymore. I might grab that for the whites when I'm home. Depending, I don't know what the situation is, if you have to stay in the huts up there or what, but I never do when I'm hiking up there, so. And then I think that was it, but in my next box I'll probably swap out my quilt for my top quilt for a 40 degree, which I think saves me like 6 ounces. Right now I got the 20 degree. And I think that's all I have planned, so. Oh yeah, the other thing is I've switched from instant coffee to just caffeine pills. I wasn't even adding water to the instant coffee, so it kind of just made sense. So one more tip while I was talking about food and resupply is, first, do not do your resupply when you first get into town, because you will buy way too much crap. First go eat, then do your resupply. And the second one I've learned after yesterday is also do not do your resupply after leaving the bar, or you will be drunk and you will also end up with way too much food. So there you go. That's why I'm carrying like a pound of fruit snacks and an entire thing of hot chocolate. It's kind of funny, I've just started to notice how like thick it's getting, like the growth, the undergrowth down in these low elevations compared to when I started. In Georgia, well, I guess the thing about Georgia is we were up pretty high the whole time, like 4,000 feet. But I mean, there was like no undergrowth, no leaves on the trees. Like, this is reminding me of hiking in the Whites or whatever, just in the Northeast in like July. Like, it's just super wet. It's almost like a rainforest. I thought this water source is pretty cool. It's literally coming out of the ground and it's like a ton of water. Alright, got a couple new flowers. I think this first one is rhododendrons starting to bloom. And then purple guy. Alright, so I'm about a little over 7 miles out of Erwin now, and it was mostly uphill, so it took me like 3 hours, I think, so definitely speeding up my pace. And I mean, I've been feeling like great the past couple days, so I don't know, Damascus is still kind of pushing it for this weekend, but we'll see. I think I'm at least going to do like 16 today, and I started late, so anyway. Got Beauty Spot coming up in a couple miles. Not sure if I'll get a view, but it's supposed to be a nice view there. And then Unica, I think it's called, mountain, Unica Mountain, which is almost 5,200 feet up, so going way the hell up. I think Hot Springs was, or Erwin was under 2,000 feet. Right now I'm at about 3,300, I think. So I got another 2,000 to climb. I think it's like, I want to say 5 miles maybe, 5 or 6 to Unica. But yeah, it would be cool to camp up there. There's a campsite, but I don't know, I'm definitely trying to make miles, so see what happens. Trail's pretty cool right here. There's like rhododendron tunnels, and then there's ferns lining the trail, like neon green almost. So apparently, I guess these are about to start blooming. Hopefully I don't get out of their range before they actually bloom fully. But I do remember hearing about rhododendron blooms. Another new flower. Some more flowers. Not sure if I'll see these bloom, so might as well film them. I think I'm probably at like 4,200 feet maybe. Almost a beauty spot. And then dropping back down, and then probably another 1,000-foot climb to the high point of the day, which is Unica Mountain. Alright, so I think this is beauty spot coming up. It just started to rain, so probably won't get much in the way of views, but it's still pretty cool. Just like turns bald up here. Just turns into a field at the top. I'm pretty high up, like 4,400 feet. So, pretty neat. Can't get all the nice days, I guess. But honestly, if I don't get another clear day for the whole hike, then I still made it out pretty well in the beginning. So, I'm sure that won't happen. So yeah, I'm probably lucky that it's just showers. I haven't heard any thunder, so that's good, but this is definitely not the place to be in a lightning storm. And I think the next mountain coming up is the same deal. Like, you definitely don't want to be up there for lightning. But yeah, I haven't heard thunder all day, and I think the forecast was mostly showers for tonight, so. Yeah, so I ran into a local guy who was up here just finishing up a 46-mile section, and he was telling me about some great stuff coming up. So looking forward to that. Obviously didn't get much of a view up here, but it's actually pretty cool with the fog. It's like really creepy. But yeah, it's starting to pour. It's funny, every once in a while you'll run into something where you're like, what the hell is this? But I had to cross over one of these, like climb up one side and down the other, and it's because there used to be a fence here. You can actually see there's barbed wire still. Looks like there's a tree people decorated in memory of somebody. Yeah, so this is the trail. Completely washed out right now. But obviously we got some rain. But yeah, not too wet except for my shoes, obviously. No rain, no pain, no main. Alright, so passed over the top of Unica Mountain, and it looks a lot more like New Hampshire up here. It's like pine forest. But yeah, there was no views anyway. It was all wooded on the top. But yeah, I've already done 13 miles in just about 6 hours, maybe a little over. So the plan is Cherry Gap Shelter, which is another 4 miles, I think, for a 17-mile day, or if the weather holds out and I'm still feeling good, I might push on after I grab some water there and try to go for a 20, but we'll see. Alright guys, just past the Cherry Gap Shelter. There was already a bunch of people there. Actually not too many, but Anyway, it was only 6 o'clock, so I'm pushing on. There's more water up ahead, so I'm not worried about that. I'll probably pick up some to carry so I can dry camp if I have to. But anyway, now I'm like hell-bent on getting a 20-mile day in and getting to Damascus with 6 20-mile days and a short 5-miler in. So I should be there by Saturday if I do that, but the only thing about that is it's gonna mess up the plans at the actual hostel that I really wanted to stay at, which has a craft beer tap room downstairs, which is kind of hilarious, but I can at least stop there and resupply and get a beer. So yeah, hopefully I can find a decent place to camp. Alright, officially just did my first 20 past Iron Mountain Gap, which is exactly 20 from Erwin. Now I got, I think it's 1.2 up to the water source, and I guess it's like an apple orchard, like an old apple orchard. And I guess it's supposed to be good camping, so hopefully I can find somewhere to hang. Alright guys, so this is where I camped last night. It's like an old apple orchard. There's actually like better tent sites down that way. But had it all to myself. So I was looking, the weather is supposed to be a lot better, I think, this afternoon. But it's pretty cold this morning. It was kind of tough to wake up. But today I got Roan Mountain as the high point. And then there's 3 balds that I've actually already hiked with Katie. Alright guys, I've already hiked like 7 miles today, but I had to change my camera battery, which I didn't really feel like doing because earlier it was really cold and rainy. But anyway, on the way up Roan Mountain right now, which is today's high point, and actually it's probably one of the highest points I'll hit for a while. It's like over 6,000 feet. So it's going to be a pretty long climb up to there. And then 6 miles from there, or from here, is Carver Gap, followed by a couple high balds. Hopefully we'll get some views up there. Yeah, other than that, the rain has stopped, but there's actually snow, just like flakes up here. So, leading into that, I was thinking today it was going to be like 80. It's going to be a high of like 48 where I am now, and the low in the 30s, so at least it's not raining, but probably going to get cold because it's going to be windy, so I don't know, we'll see. Alright, I made it up to the first peak on Roan Mountain, so we're above like 6,200 feet, I think. But I guess this was a site of an old hotel, and now it's just a meadow. I have no idea how these got people up here, but pretty cool. Actually, there might be a road over here. This is the actual hotel site, I think, up here. There's some more ruins of something. Carver Gap, or Carver's Gap. So we got a couple balds that I've already done before coming up. with why I'm even hiking the trails up here, from what I remember. This is the view off of Round Bulb. First one. Yeah, so this section is called the Roan Highlands. Yeah, anyway, we've got like 15 miles already. I think it's like 4:30, if that. So I'll probably continue on. There's a nice big shelter at the bottom of this after the Highlands. Not sure how it is for camping. So there's also a tenting area that I heard has trees, so I might go there. But I know that barn has like a crazy view. The other shelter's like a converted barn, but so it may be worth going down there for sunset or sunrise, or trying to see if I can throw a hammock up somewhere. That's why I'm glad I got up here early, because it's hard to make miles on these days with these views. Not sure if I have time to go up to that extra bold, but I really want to. Yeah, so I meant to talk about this morning, but my camera battery was dead, so anyway, I feel like I finally got my trail legs, I think that's what I wanted to say. But so yesterday was like 21.4 or 3 miles or something. Honestly, wasn't that sore when I got to camp. I woke up pretty sore, but nothing like the beginning of the hike. And then today, I mean, honestly, when I first started hiking, I was like, there's no way I'm gonna do 20, but then, just like every day, about a mile and a half in, you like start thinking about other stuff, and then you realize like you're 5 miles in and everything feels fine. Also today I started on time, so it'll be much easier to do the high mileage. But yeah, we'll see where I end up. I'm tempted to go to this other bulb, which is another 1.2 miles round trip, so if I do that, that might affect where I sleep. Alright, so this is Grassy Bald Summit. It's sort of worth the effort. It's pretty cool here, I guess. I passed 2 like hunting dogs on the way up here. At the last minute, I kind of noticed one was really skinny. And then, of course, I did pass one other hiker, but I don't think it was his dogs. But anyway, of course, didn't see anybody. Kind of hoping they approach me again. I mean, I might give them some food or something and see if they'll follow me down. Because I mean, this is high elevation. It's probably going to be below freezing tonight. This is like 6,200 feet. In fact, that last peak was the highest peak in the Roan Highlands, and just about as high as Roan Mountain, which I came off earlier today. But anyway, let's see if I run into these dogs again. Kind of feel bad for them. So headed down from the Balds. I guess leaving the Roan Highlands maybe. I don't know if this is part of it, but we have really good views coming off the side into Tennessee. So yeah, I was walking down here, kind of looking at my feet, and I freaking railed my head on a branch. I was worried for a couple seconds that it might have been pretty hard, but I feel fine now, so. There's like a cave up here or something.